Ito mong anong gusto na, ito pa rin si Drilon, he might want to explain his relationship with Janet Lim Napoles since you want to discuss corruption and the use of people's money. And I can still remember that Miss Napoles tampered with billions of pesos. And how did you end up partying in Heritage Park in Taguig with Napoles and all people? Could you call that a perfect coincidence? You claim that you have only met Napoles 10 times, but the photos show your closeness. And is it true that Napoles contributed 5 million to your campaign? At ikaw pa rin ang kasama mo sa Senado ang nagsabi na may binigay ay kapalit. So what did you give in return? Since you have proclaimed yourself and your friends there in the Senate as anti-corruption czars, please enlighten Mr. Senator. Can you explain to the Filipinos your connection with former Mayor Jed Mabilog and General Garbo? Aren't they both connected in the illegal drug trade? Yung mga tao ninyo noon sa panahon ninyo. And since we are talking about Iloilo, can you also tell us who owns the biggest mall in Iloilo City and who brokered the sale of the old Iloilo City Airport to Megaworld? We are just curious, Mr. Senator. Ito naman si Gordon. Itong si Gordon, malalim itong away namin. Talaga mag-aaway kami nitong buwang na ito. He claims that the Red Cross is totally independent of an adjunct independent from the government, national or local. Tapos sabi niya, because I'm looking for the annual reports in the local sa Red Cross, creating the Red Cross. The Red Cross must submit to the President an annual report. Since then, wala akong natanggap. 6 na taon na ako, Mr. Senator Gordon. Nasaan na ang report? And why would you say now that the government of the Republic of the Philippines cannot conduct an audit sa Red Cross? Because it is totally independent. If it is totally independent, you are correct. But it is not totally independent because you have been receiving aid, financial aid, from the Republic of the Philippines. At ika nga, nagkukuha ka pa dyan sa PCSO ng pera. Now, any money belonging to the government of the Republic of the Philippines given to an agency, whatever be the nature, if you're operating here and you receive the money and spend it, you are accountable to the government and therefore an audit is in order. So in the coming days, I will write you a letter to open up your records, because I will also request Aguinaldo, and I am sure he knows his business, that there is money in Red Cross belonging to the government which he has to look into. Ngayon, kung ayaw mo, mapipilitan akong totally disassociate with you. I will stop government, the national government and all, from having transaction with you in any manner. Wala akong pakialam, hindi ako magbigay ng pera sa iyo. Saka, as far as I'm concerned, Red Cross does not exist. And you can create a controversy there or a crisis. I do not mind because I said I am on the right track. Either you submit on auditing procedure or we quarrel. Pag mag-quarrel, do your worst because I will do mine. Mahirap yung sabihin mo na at saka Mr. Senator Gordon, kilala mo ba ito si Glenn Tan ng Subic? Do you know him? Because he knows you very well. Well enough to talk about you. Kumusta ito si Gwendolyn Pang? That lady from Sulu na nag-join sa Red Cross. Pakisagot lang nito para maano tayo. At pwede ka rin magsagot sa akin. Ako pa ang magbigay ng lista sa iyo. About itong the procurement of the masks, face shields, and personal protective equipment for healthcare workers. Ako ba, well, I made this guarantee that these transactions are legal, that there is no wrongdoing, there is no crime involved here, that I am willing to resign kung may corruption. Yan ang binigay ko, and I will do it at kung may makita sila. You know, in March of last year, we imposed strict quarantine protocols and lockdowns in Luzon and as part of a response in the COVID-19 pandemic. By first week of April, we have had an increasing number of cases of deaths, which included our health workers and doctors. Back then, the situation was becoming dire as we also had very limited supplies of personal protective equipment or PPEs in our hospitals. In fact, kulang na kulang ang supply. And ang capacity natin at that time in dealing with the virus was just almost, not really nil, but almost, let me find the inadequate. Well, at that time that no country was really prepared, just like any other in a pandemic, you are racing against time to save lives, quick to decisions and actions, and had to be made to be able to do this. Congress granted executive department special powers under Bayanihan 1. And the exercise of these powers, we procured a total of 288,000 PPEs in April 2020 from China through PSDBM. And were transported to the country via C-130, PAL, and Cebu Pacific flights. Alam mo, ako na mismo, sabi ko nga, as I have stated for the nth time, I was also the one in the hurry. As a matter of fact, the number one person who was really insistent na ngayon, itong ongoing projects ng Congress, Sabi naman Commission of Audit, si Michael Aguinaldo himself clarified that the findings of the auditing team that attended the Department of Budget and Management Procurement Service pertain to the inventory management and not to the alleged overpricing of the medical supplies of the fight against COVID-19. The findings of the auditing that handles PSDBM really pertain more to the inventory management and not overpricing, Michael said during the Senate inquiry. To further accelerate the positioning of the PPS and critical supplies to strategic areas, BRP Bacolod, carrying a total of 200,000 PPS, departed from China on May 1, 2020, bound for Davao City. The PPEs are full piece sets including the now subject face mask and face shields, many of which are allocated for all government hospitals and other hospitals with COVID-19 patients and laboratories. Again, these are meant to our healthcare workers and not for the general public. Hindi ito pambigay sa mga in general kung sino-sino lang. As we replenish our stocks of mid-May 2020, we were able to distribute PPEs to a total of 699 hospitals, irrespective of whether government or private hospital. In the meantime, nag-usap kami I had a chance to have a talk here with Senator Soto. Binabanggit kasi niya, sabi niya, I agree that inconvenient masyado itong mask. Is there a way that we can do away with it? Sabi ko, gusto ko. I said, because it is very inconvenient and it really does not make you in proper equality, whatever, if there is something hanging in front of your face. Nung sinabi ko, pabor ako, pero nung right after that, as prudence would dictate, I consulted the medical sector, yung mga scientists. And they said that, totoo, it is not really an answer-all solution. But it can prevent, at least with the mask, a little of the average protection. And when they mentioned to me the new variant data entering the country, I got scared. So, binalik ko yung there was no order yet, but I never really went to order the doing away with the mask. Ngayon, binalik ko yan. Sabi ko with the coming of COVID-19, sabi ko, if it can add a little more protection, so mas mabuti na lang niya, it's a little bit convenience, but it could mean life and death for a person, for a citizen of this country. So binalik ko. So ako na yung may order na ibalik, na magsuot talaga. But was the order of sa DOH nung nag-meeting tayo. Sabi ko, ibalik ko kasi I said, taking the view from the medical people, sabi nila, it can increase the average of protection. So, yun lang ang ito namang sabi ni Aguinaldo, dalawa yun Itong Congress, itong maldito talaga to. They started first with, there are two issues. They started with the unspent billions. Tapos sabi nyo, wala namang nakuha kasi unspent ka, nandyan. But they are asking si Duque kung bakit hanggang ngayon hindi pa nagastos. I mean, you do not run the Department of Health by legislation. Yun ang problema sa kanila. So, wala yun. Huwag mong pasinin yan. If you have a program for the remaining amounts in your department, do it. Do not listen to Congress, they're all bullshit. Wala pang ano lang yan, pang istorbo lang yung yawa na yan. Dito naman sa kabila, dito ko tinaya ang pangalan ko. Kasi tinanong ko talaga yung mga tao. The Commission on Audit, Chairman Aguinaldo himself clarified that the findings of the auditing team that handled the Department of Budget and Management Procurement Service pertain to the inventory management and not to the alleged overpricing of the medical supplies to fight against COVID. Bakit sila maggawa ng inventory na when the program is going on? I think they should let Secretary Duque finish his job, then conduct the inventory of what is left or what is missing, and that is the time that you make, the findings of the auditing that handled PSPM really pertain more to inventory management and not the overpricing. Aguinaldo said during the Senate inquiry on Tuesday. Dito ko nga tinaya. Dito ko sinabi na mag-resign ako kung merong corruption dyan. Ora mismo, bababa ako. Kung sabi na walang anomalya sa disbursement at delivery ng items because it was accounted for. Ano ba ang inyong gusto mailisit? Ang agenda ng Blue Ribbon Committee, motu proprio investigation. The senators keep looking for the technical and financial requirements of Farmally. Wala ka na pakialam dyan. Farmally is really a Farmally corporation sa Singapore. Doon yun nag-provide. Ito si Michael Yang, whom I knew for the last 20 years na negosyante ng Davao. Siya yung inutusan ko initially noong I made contacts with the Chinese. Eh, siyempre may negosyo, nakikisali. Negosyante. Ano ba magawa mo? Na ito na ngayon, ang ginaano nila, wala silang makita, yung Parmali. Yung Parmali, what is clear is that there was this contract, there was delivery, kumpleto lahat, specifications, as to quality, quantity, and all. Tapos, after delivery, bago pa nagbayad ang Pilipinas.